This is the chicken house in the barn, and you can see these guys are quite a bit bigger. They're probably 10 inches tall, something like that, from head to toe. And I've got them running in this second part, the center part of the barn here, between the two stanchions, and they've got quite a bit of space. You can see these boards that I put across. Those are meant to be roosts, but they haven't really been roosting on them much. Mostly they've been roosting on the stanchions. I guess they like the size of those boards better, but they'll sit on my roost as they get bigger. They're eating quite a bit of feed, a couple gallons a day, and it looks like I probably need to feed them again now. They've got some scattered around, but not a whole lot left. Most of these are the Dark Cornish. That'll be the meat birds. There's 50 of them in here, about that. Like these guys here in front looking at me, I think they're all Dark Cornish. And then let me look around here, see if I can find. Well, there's a barred rock. Oh, she's walking away now. Oh, there's a barred rock also, right here in the middle, coming my way. That's a barred rock. She'll be an egg layer. And there are also some speckled Sussex, and these two looking at me might be. They've got, it's hard to tell. They still look a lot like the Dark Cornish, but they have a black and brown speckled wings that look really nice. There should be 5 of them in here, so it's still hard to pick them out, but sometimes I see some that I think must be them. The Dark Cornish have a more meat bird look to them. They've got a broad chest, and they just look like a meatier bird. And they're they're a month old, so they're about 2 months or a little less away from butchering. Go through here, see if I can get a better look at any of them. There's one right there next to the water that I think may be a speckled Sussex. She's got a sort of a brown or a white chest and then brown feathers. And don't suppose I could catch her, but there she is right in the middle. They're starting to look quite a bit different now. Now that I get a good look at her. It's been dark out here quite a bit of the time, so I haven't got a close look at them very often, but I think they're going to be really attractive birds, and they'll be egg layers too. There she is. She must be hungry to be getting this close to me. And then these others are like that guy there. That's the Dark Cornish. They're supposed to all be roosters. It doesn't really matter for eating them, but the roosters are cheaper, so that's what I got. And they're drinking 3 or 4 gallons of water a day too, so I'm having to fill up the water once a day now. And I may end up even having to get a second water to get through the day by the time I get them all out here. Those boards across there where what I put in for them to roost on, but instead they've been jumping up onto these boards like these here and sitting on them, which is fine. This is the basement of the barn, and I just went, and some of the windows, the panes of glass were broken, so I just covered them up with wire to keep coons and possums and stuff out, and so far so good. And then I just closed up the doors on the end, nailed a couple of them shut that were bad, and closed the others up. So I'm going to start letting them outside real soon, probably this weekend, and let them get some food outside, get some sunlight too, just as long as they don't start to become dinner for hawks. They'll be healthier and eat less feed that I have to buy if they're getting outside and can get some food out there. The speckled Sussex is really curious. She just keeps coming right up to me. Hey, girl. Yeah, I think she's going to be a really pretty hen. Got a nice coloring to her. The Dark Cornish just have a kind of a rough look about them. They're still kind of have down around the neck, so their necks look skinny and their bodies kind of look overgrown. But they'll gradually catch up. I think they'll look pretty normal when they're full grown, but they'll still have kind of a big chest on them compared to an egg layer. The Dark Cornish is the breed that was used to cross to get the Cornish cross that pretty much everybody grows for meat nowadays. That's a really fast growing bird, and these are kind of an ancestor of that. These don't grow as fast, and they're supposed to be a tastier meat, a little more costly to grow just because of the time. You have to feed them longer, but I think it's worth a shot to see how they taste and how the meat turns out. Okay, I think that's enough for today. I'll try to shoot another one of these when I start letting them outside and can get some pictures of them out in the sun.